Right now I am in Harrisonburg, Virginia. Picked up a load, let's see, picked up a load about somewhere around 43,000 pounds possibly. A coffee maker. Yep. 43,274 pounds of coffee maker. And it is going to Byron Center, Michigan. Delivery for Friday at 5 a.m. Weather is a bit foggy outside right now. It's 11:30 local time, Eastern time here in Virginia. I'm still stuck here because I have to finish my 10-hour break, which only is about an hour left, then I can go. But I don't feel like driving on this fog, so, and besides it's only an 11-hour drive, so I might just stay here until 5 o'clock in the morning, have a good night rest. I haven't been sleeping in irregular hours in a couple days, been a little bit tired. So that's that. Earlier today I shared with you a little bit about myself, personal information, experiences, and where I come from. I thought I'd do something a little different. How about I start with my dad. You see, my dad was born in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, to a prominent family named Vollrath. Back in World War I or II, my great-grandfather was the first person to combine aluminum and stainless, thus creating the Vollrath Stainless Steel Company. They supplied pots and pans for the hospitals, surgical utensils or equipments. As you know, most of the surgical instruments are made of stainless steel. Naturally, the Vollrath supplied that. And even in World War II, if you guys remember, the soldiers' canteens and those aluminum equipments and trays were made by the Vollrath company. So anyway, that being said, that my dad had one brother named John, like me. I was named after him. And they belonged to a really high-class society. And supposedly my grandfather was a kind of a mechanic garage type of a guy, and my grandmother was one of those real high-class, high society lady. As I understand, my uncle John was in that same category, and my grandmother and my uncle got along real well, but my dad and his father got along real well. Unfortunately, when my grandfather died, my dad and my grandmother butt heads, and instead of, as I mentioned before, they would have all kinds of high-class parties, but my dad was rather be out in the garage fixing his cars and taking things apart, putting them together. And so all said and done, I guess at the earliest age, my dad became a sailor in the Great Lakes of Michigan, all the Great Lakes. And when he became 18 or 21, I don't know how old you have to be to become a sailor on the big seas overseas. Then he jumped at the chance at that, became a sailor, and sailed around the world a few times until the day he landed in Philippine Packing, Del Monte in Philippines, where he jumped off ship, and he ended up living there for about 45 years. And to jump in the future, he died at 2000 at his home in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. But he was very, very adamant that he wanted to be buried back home in the Philippines, mainly in Camiguin Island. So my brother and I brought him home and buried him there. Many more stories about him. He was a brilliant guy, a little bit eccentric and odd. He didn't really like parties, and even though he had a lot of money, he didn't buy fancy cars. He did like his toys, engines. Never bought a brand new car. He bought 14 cases of dynamite when I was 8. I remember remembering that 14 cases of dynamite was underneath my bed. That was a trip. First time I saw a guy put dynamite on an open fire. You should have seen the whole barrio. Just, man, we ran for the dear lives. We were so scared. But it turns out, I guess, dynamite doesn't explode until a certain amount of foot-pounds of impact, of concussion, that sets it off. No bullet, no fire, just that concussion. Although my dad told me that if dynamite gets old, it gets unstable, and I think oil is one of the substance you want to get away from it. So anyway, I'm getting tired. I think I better get some sleep. Thanks for watching. Peace.